Hello, everyone. My name's Stephen Murray, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Gift of Giving. This program focuses on Nevada nonprofits, foundations, and 501c3s. But if you're tuning in from another state, please stay with us because our guest today has a very unique foundation, and hopefully, it will if you're in other states, that you will start one in your state, and soon we'll have these nurses' foundations in 50 states. I'd like to welcome to our program Dave Terrell. He's the Director and Outreach Coordinator for Nevada Nurses Foundation. Thank you for taking time out today and being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the organization is actually based up in northern Nevada, in Reno, right? But you have staff down here,
Yes,
yourself, in southern Nevada that represent the organization.
we do, and the board is split basically between Northern Nevada and Southern
Southern
Nevada.
Nevada.
So pretty much, even though the CEO, Sandy Oakland, is in Northern Nevada, but we're kind of spread across the state.
So it's covered, all bases are
Yeah.
covered.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to give us a brief overview of the organization, its mission, when it was founded, and give us some history on it?
So the Nevada Nurses Foundation is the charitable wing of Nevada Nurses Association. The foundation was founded back in about 2014, and the CEO, Sandy Oakland, was at that time and was the president of the Northern Nevada Nurses Association. After she left that position, then she then put all of her efforts into the foundation. So since 2014, um, the organization we have spread again across the state. The board is put together of nurses from across the state. So, like I said, it covers sort of rural areas of Nevada, Reno, and then also the Las Vegas, Clark County, and all of the areas in there. Um, we do basically a lot of fundraising, so forth, through different events that we hold, throughout the year. And since the inception, like as of this past winter, we've given out pretty much close to $250,000 in scholarships towards nursing education, so to help nurses advance their education out throughout the state. One of the things I'd like to go over is just based on the mission of the organization.
Mhm.
And they say says the mission of the NNF is to increase access to quality health care for Nevada citizens by promoting professional development of nurses through recognition, grants, and scholarships. So that is our main focus in doing that. All of it is all volunteer in there. Nobody is paying
Wow.
for anything. And we accept volunteers. A lot of volunteers are non-nurses also and helping because these events that we hold, there's a lot that goes into them and so forth. So it's very helpful. We have everything from nursing students to nurses to, spouses, nurses, and so forth, family, friends, and everything. Like I said, because it's all volunteer work. So it's a really big effort out there to get people to volunteer to help out with it. And it's just very rewarding then to see how people we can help first advance their degrees and so forth, advance their knowledge of nursing. Because as we well know, just that the state really has um, a lot of challenges in the healthcare fields as far as getting people to be able to meet the needs of the population.
Yeah, well, yes, but at the rate the population's growing here in
Just
Nevada, you're absolutely right. But
Yeah.
you've got to hand it to nurses because they really are the most caring, compassionate. I know the doctors and surgeons do the work, but the heavy lifting. But the nurses, they're responsible for the subsequent care, always with a cheerful face, and they really do the Lord's work there. And I do want to go into the grants and scholarships in detail later on. But can we just talk a little bit? You also have a continuing education program where people can get continuing education credits, I understand. Would you like to talk a little bit about the?
So there's some things around compassionate care,
Mhm.
so forth, and different things. We also do like symposiums. We do like the Rural Frontier Symposium, which also there's CEUs available for that. But just again to help advance people's knowledge and education on those things. All of those, the whatever we charge like a minimum amount for them, but that all does go towards then scholarships and so forth. The Rural Frontier Symposium, that will go towards rural frontier places like Elko and so forth, and those more distance areas. But those are just things again to help to educate nurses And then also just to help then advance and play it forward and so forth to get more money to give out for scholarships.
Yes. Okay. And I noticed one of the programs that you had, and you alluded to it, compassion. And one of the programs is compassion fatigue.
Yeah,
Is this a huge issue with nurses, the compassion
definitely.
fatigue?
Yeah, when you're there and you're taking care of patients, and again, in what is this for them a very challenging time in your life, and being sick, the family members, you're also taking care of them, trying to understand what's going on, the fear that is there. The nurses are there and helping to soothe them, helping to calm them, helping to give them information, so forth. And so what can happen a lot of times when you're doing that, you've got this patient load and you're going from room to room or wherever you're in the clinic or where you're working, it does take its toll on the
Sure.
care provider and so forth. And nurses are one that they will keep going and keep going and keep
Yeah.
going. And they will till they're like pretty much empty. And then they will try to bring out more because they want to care so much about their patients and trying to
Yes.
get them there. And what that does though is that it drains the nurse and so forth. It, the stress and so forth. And we're nurses, like it's say, we are probably like the worst patients or the worst at taking care of ourselves and so
Yes.
forth. So you need these kind of programs out there that help nurses to understand that, if you're not healthy, if you're not mentally up to it, you can't help your patients. You can't do
Right.
that. And so we teach nurses and so forth to be compassionate to yourself and so forth and to take those breaks.
Yeah. It's nice that you have a program like that because it's something I guess we don't think about, that these nurses might get tired and wiped out and
Yeah,
drain on their their own emotions. So it's nice that you have a program that helps them deal with it and come to grips with it
exactly.
and remind them to take care of themselves first, because that's very important.
Yes.
Now, you said there's a small charge for some of these programs, and do the proceeds go to oncology nurses?
Onto nurses, specifically, but into raising more money for the foundation and so
Uh-huh.
forth, to be able to give out as scholarships.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And now, do you have members from literally across the state, or is it just mainly in Las Vegas and Reno, or do you have them in the smaller rural
Across the
areas
state,
of rural
rural parts
Nevada?
of it, yes, so they flew out to Elko at one point to again do some community work and so forth and meet with nurses out there and so forth. But it's across everybody's. Well, we've got probably about 40,000 nurses across the state. And so,
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, and it's just right out everywhere. So again, our thing is for the state. We're working for the state to try to really give
Yes.
everybody support and so forth, information, education, and where possible to give them grants, give scholarships to schools to try to really just raise the level of nursing, and healthcare in the state. So it's across the state that we do it.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. We're going to take a little brief sponsorship break. Sorry about that. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back, and we're going to be talking about the scholarships and grants that the Nevada Nurses Foundation provides. Please stay with us.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. And I'd like to welcome back our guest today, Dave Terrell from Nevada Nurses Foundation. I'd like to talk in this segment about one of the main objects of the foundation, and that's to give out grants and scholarships. So I'd like to talk about the scholarships first, if I may. And how often do you award these scholarships?
So we have two times a year that we award them in the spring, and like for right now, there's if they go to the website that is open to apply for the spring scholarships, and then in the fall we do it. So we'll do it like in February, and then we start again in August.
Now, if I read it correctly, um, the application date for the spring ones cuts off on February the 1st.
Yes.
Okay. So if any of you are out there looking to apply, you've got 1 week to do it, because they cut off on February the 1st. So,
So the February cutoff is for grants.
oh,
On that,
grants.
for
I'm
grants.
sorry.
Yes, you can get grants. The scholarships will actually during February that they can apply for those.
Thanks for correcting me on that. So
Yes.
we'll clarify that again when we get to the grants part. So it's through the end of February they can apply for scholarships.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And they go to your website and there's the application form and everything there.
Yes.
So I saw there were a couple of types of scholarships. You've got endowed scholarships and legacy scholarships that I could see. Could you elaborate the difference between those two?
So you have some that are down, that are, where we have some very generous people that will donate, money to the, foundation. It is put into kind of like an account that, so therefore then as it builds and generates then interest and so forth, that then comes to the foundation. And then you also have some that are started in memory of nurses or the family members,
Okay.
that those then money will be raised to put into those and so forth, and it's invested, and that then generates money to help with the scholarships.
Okay. So those that endowed and the legacy ones are
In memory of,
and that's the legacy one,
Yeah.
and the endowment ones are the other ones that you mentioned.
yes.
Okay, and then do you have any other kinds of scholarships, or is it
It's
that you're
usually
aware of?
have different groups that again will again just donate, that sponsor scholarships and so forth. So I have several groups that'll do that. And for so $1,000 here and so forth, $2,000 there that they'll add in. And if I could jump in like part of the selection processes, then usually then they will look at then selecting one of the applicants and so forth to award the scholarship to.
That's that's a perfect segue into my next question: is how are the beneficiaries selected?
So you have, and if you go to the website, you see the whole list of all of those. It's just, again, all volunteers, all people that, who they will go through all the scholarships. It's a lot of that requests that we'll get for it and everything. They all go through it, and then and grade them. We take out all of the identifiers out of their names, probably what school they're going to right now, or anything that can kind of identify who the
Sure.
person looking for the scholarship is, to kind of keep it as even as possible. But you have a full team, again, of all volunteers that will go through these, usually work on a real tight timeline to get it all done and everything and so forth. But people who take time from their busy jobs, you know, what they've got going on regularly, to sit down some weekends or during weeknights, whatever, to get all of this done, to get it done in time, to be able to reward the scholarships to people out there.
Now, those are the areas where you're always looking for volunteers to help evaluate these scholarship applications.
We're always looking, and a lot of it'll come through, because then there's volunteers that pull together the events that we have. So forth. So,
Okay.
we have, like, again, in the springtime, the Big Hat High Tea, which is yours scheduled for, April the 5th. And so people can go to the website and you can see, like by next week, it should show up on there as far as buying tickets and the
Okay.
flyer and so forth for that.
I'd like to talk about the events that you have in another section later in the program, if I may, because I still want to stick with the scholarships. I think there's still some more here. How many scholarships do you actually give out in the spring and in the fall?
There are,
Do you
I
know?
don't have an exact number
No.
on it, but it's several scholarships that we give out.
And the amounts vary.
The amounts will
assuming
vary on the
it-
scholarships, yes, depending on which donor or whatever, where it's coming
Sure,
from,
where it's coming
on,
from.
on that.
Okay. And now let's talk about the grants. And that's where we have the cutoff date of February the 1st.
Yes,
So if you're looking for a grant, you've only got 1 week to do it, folks. So
and I think on the grants, there's about, this year, about $6,500.
okay.
Yeah, and this is again for research, to help with whatever things, you know, to get different studies done and so forth, on people. And usually people will publish papers after that, so which is again goes to advance um, knowledge and so forth out there in the nursing community or the healthcare community itself.
Yes, I saw that it says that it's various projects and various programs and research. So uh, now, is this if somebody wants to start doing some research on something, can they apply to you and say they want to spend some time and money researching a certain medical issue?
Exactly.
And
And so
okay,
do the proposal and put it out there. And then one of the requirements definitely is that at the end of it, whatever that you produce, you present what it is that you've done. So that's something like the symposium, the Rural Frontier Symposium, you'll have different times when those that have gotten these research grants then present as one of the presentations at the symposium, what their
gotcha.
study, what their conclusions were, so forth on their studies.
And do you know how many of those grants you give out each year, or
It
it varies?
it varies.
Yes.
I mean, so like for this year, there's about $6,500 to give out. So depending on how many applied for it, how much they say they would need for it and so forth, then that'll then dictate just how many we're able to give out.
They give out.
Mm.
Now, how long's your grant program been in effect? Do you know
Grant
offhand?
program's been at least, 5 years that the grant program has been out there, probably been a little bit more than that.
So it's been quite successful because
Yes.
you're obviously keeping it going.
Yes.
It's a nice program.
Yes.
It's a nice program to have. And would it be fair to say that you will give out the amount of grants and scholarships also depending on how much funds that you've received?
Yes.
I mean, if somebody gave you $50,000 or something, would you suddenly say,
You would,
"Hey, instead of doing 10 grants, we could do 50"?
that's our
That's it.
mission. That's our
Okay.
mission to continue to build. Is that we've given it out by over since the inception of the foundation, almost like $250,000 in
Oh boy.
scholarships. So that we've given out. So yes, our thing is to, more the endowments, the legacy, all those different avenues of bringing in money. The more that we're able to give out and then support
Sure.
people with that.
Yes.
So
Boy, $250,000. That's not chump change, that's
No.
for sure.
No.
It surely isn't.
And then if you go to our website again, they'll have pictures up there of all of the, most of the people that we've given. And you actually have tabs that'll show throughout the years, different people that have been giving scholarships and so forth. And it's really encouraging. It's really something nice to see on there because you got some that, got scholarships early on and you can see that they've come back and they're members of helping, the fundraising, attending the events and so forth. You can see that as far as in the nursing community out there, that people say, wow, I had an NNF scholarship that helped me through nursing school and so forth, or I had an NNF scholarship that helped me, go from a CNA to a nurse and so forth. I have a NNF scholarship to help me, become an advanced practice nurse and so forth. It's just really, encouraging when I
Yes,
see that.
makes it all worthwhile,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And then the thing to notice, it's all volunteers that are doing it.
Yes.
So forth, they're giving up their time, donating the different things and so forth. We have these big events and so forth. A lot of people, as far as the decorating, all this stuff, this is all stuff that people are bringing in and so forth to
I
help
bet.
to make these venues look
Yeah.
really nice and inviting.
I think we're a much more given community than we're given credit for.
It's
Um,
wonderful.
We're going to take another brief sponsorship break, folks. Please stay with us. We're going to be right
Budget
back.
deficits, national debt, presidential elections, government shutdowns, global conflicts in Europe, global conflicts in the Middle East, global pandemics, interest rates, rising inflation. Markets go up and markets go down for reasons nobody can control. Don't let the volatility of the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Your financial strategy can make all the difference. I'm Joshua Dowden. At Priority Wealth Partners, your goals are our goals. We believe people can live better lives with smart financial education and knowledge. We work closely with clients to match strategy with individual needs. Our personal financial strategies have helped investors accomplish their goals while reducing market volatility, and we can help you too. You've worked hard to get where you are now. Your financial plan should work hard for you in retirement. Conveniently located in downtown Summerlin, my name's Joshua Dowden. Call me today for a free consultation, 702-808-6513. That's 702-808-6513.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Here comes a triple yodel. Adi-yodelay, oh, 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 ee.
Welcome back, everyone. And I'd like to thank our guest again, Dave Terrell from the Nevada Nurses Foundation, for being with us. And let's talk about a couple of the other programs you have other than the sponsorship and the grants. Now, you have an Honor the Nurse program, I
Right.
see.
Mhm.
Would you like to talk a little bit about how that works?
Well,
How a nurse gets honored?
well, honored, and we have a number of different ones in there to honor recognition. We do like a lot of awards things. So you have like Distinguished Nurse Leader Award
Okay.
in there, Lifetime Achievement Awards that we will do. You have People's Choice Award
Yes.
that we do in there. You'll do one as far as like the Chief Nurse or Director of Nursing Award that we do. We'll have like the 50 and under award and some up and coming people in there. And we also, one of the neat ones that you see established like the Professional Progression Award. And so those are all the people that during that year have completed degrees or advanced degrees. You just get the stage full of people that come up there and have gotten either their bachelor's degree, their master's degree, any advanced degrees and so forth that they get on that. We also do one called Nurses on Boards that we recognize. And so we encourage nurses to get involved in the community, get involved in what's going on out there. Because, I have a saying that I've heard many years ago about it. If you're not at the table, you're probably on the menu. And so if you're not there when the decisions are being made and so forth about where you go, you get left out there in the cold. So a lot of things to recognize nurses that are out there across the state doing different things to get involved to advance healthcare in the state.
Okay. Now, who decides who? That's a lot of nice awards that you're giving out across the board. Um, who makes that determination? Is it the board of directors, or is there a committee?
There's a committee or something, and we reach out to the community. So for example, like the director of nursing or the chief nursing, again, each hospital or whatever, people will refer somebody. And so the more that you have in there that vote and put forward for them. So on the website, you'll see that people can go in and so you want to elect your director or your chief for the awards, you can put in, and so then they tabulate those that come in there. You'll have like the Distinguished Nurse Leader or the Lifetime Achievement Award. So you'll have those that have won the award already are then part of voting for the next one on
Okay.
those. So for each one's like different, a couple of different things. But if you go to the site, you'll be able to see for each award the access to it and so forth,
Okay.
how to get in there and to vote on it.
And we're going to be giving out that website later on this program. But so it's not just solely on the number of votes that come through the website. There's also people on the. It's not who gets the highest number, just on people voting. Is it? Or,
Right, so people will submit, like for the chief nurse, they will submit, this is my recommendation, this is a write-up. And then you've got then the voting committee that'll look them over
Gotcha.
and so forth.
Okay.
Just like we do with the scholarships, you'll have a group that's looking at them. And usually it's again consists of people who won it before. And so then you're going through and looking at it and saying, okay, which was best articulated or whatever
Okay.
who would win.
and is it the same members of the committee? Is it just one committee that does all the awards, or do you have one committee for Honor the Nurse and another one for People's Choice and
Separate different
committees?
ones.
Also,
Go
there's
together.
each award has its own committee.
Has its own committee to set up. So that's why I said, if you look at the website, gigs have it all out there, and it's a lot of people.
Yes,
that-
yes,
that-
it is.
that do it and so forth,
Yes.
so you can break it down and so forth to look at it.
Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier that you are totally manned by volunteers, and that was one of my questions. There's no paid staff; it's all volunteers.
All volunteer.
And there's a regular. Do you have a regular core of volunteers that you can reach out to when you have certain events and say, "Hey, we need your help this time"? Or
Did you have a pretty steady group on
Yes.
there? But there are always the new ones coming through, or you cite like somebody can help in the spring, but they can't help with the fall event or something, and it goes around. So it's always cycling through. A lot of times when you get new, just really energetic ones coming through, are like nursing students
yes,
and so forth, which is just a huge help to getting
Uh-huh.
things done. So you'll see new ones, but again, and for them, they'll kind of, once they graduate, because now they're working on their career and trying to just get acclimated to that, they may fade out a little bit, but then you'll see in a couple of years, some of them coming back now to help
Gotcha.
with things and so forth. But so it's a number of different, whether it's from the hospital, it's from academia, different volunteers, different levels and so forth that will come to help out. But you've got a core, like again, I've been with the organization since the inception and so forth. So, and then you have several of us that have been there for the 10, 11 years, so that it's been there. So it's a really, like I said, it's a really neat thing to see.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um, Now, how do you get funded? Do you get government grants or state grants or
It's all
All-
it's all fundraising.
all fundraising and
All
individuals? Do you get anything from corporations?
We would like to, and hope to, it'd be incredible if we could get, like, some major funding and so forth to help, because again, because it all goes into the scholarships
Yes.
and so forth. And that would really be, again, the more we can do and so forth, the better for the team. So yeah, it would be nice if we could. So we're always reaching out. We're always trying to get some interest, and that's why something like this is amazing for us to help to get the message out there. But if we could ever get, a corporation that's, or some, benefactor, someone to say, hey, you know what, I think it's a good thing.
Yes, I was wondering if you got anything from any of the casino operations, or have you ever reached out to?
We've tried in some things, but again, it's some difficult, like, to
Yes.
get the connections and so
Yes.
forth. But it'd be wonderful.
That you
Appreciate
get
it.
some?
And
Yeah.
again, I just keep saying it all goes back. There's no, everything's volunteer. It all goes back into the operation, and getting scholarships out there to students.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice that yours is all volunteers, so you don't really have the overhead that a lot of organizations do have. So
Yeah.
you're doing yeoman work,
Yes.
really, with little government help or support or anything. So congratulations on that. So you mentioned that you get a lot of your money through fundraisers, and you touched on the Royal Symposium and the Big Hat High Tea.
Mhm.
And do you want to elaborate a little bit on those and any others you have coming up?
So
So the Big Hat High Tea is in April.
the Big Hat IT is in April 5th, and that's always held at the Governor's Mansion in Carson City. And it is a really neat event. This year's theme is going to be the Great Gatsby. So every year there's a theme. We've had, things like, Wizard of Oz. We've had, just cowboy themes. Every year there's a different theme to it. And you don't have to dress with the theme and so forth, but it's, it's
want to
neat.
get the spirit of it. And how many people can attend that?
It's usually probably about 200.
Okay.
So it's a lot, and it sells out. Like pretty much every year,
Yes.
it sells
Okay.
out on there. And again, it's at the Governor's Mansion. The annex next to it is where it's held. It's decorated just incredibly on there. One of the things, when we go back to as far as money coming in and so forth, because a lot of the hospitals, whether it's north or whether it's in the south, will buy like tables and so forth there. So we do get a lot of support from them. And
Yes.
again, that all, part will go to pay for the event, but the major part of it then goes into more
Foundation.
scholarships and so
Yes.
forth. So that part, just to make sure people say, the hospitals and different organizations out there will help support our events
Wow.
on that and stuff. We then, the Big Hat IT, like I said, we'll have that up there. And then we have another event with the Shining Stars of Nursing. This past, and that's in the fall that we'll have that event. So this past one was held up in Reno. So every year we go back and forth between the north and the south. So this year it'll be down here in that event and so forth. And again, you get a few hundred people at that event also to turn out and to get us another big fundraising event for the operation. And we showed the scholarship winners and everything. So we select all that. You do the nurses on boards, you do all the different recognition and awards and so forth. And they really gets everybody, into it and so forth. And it's just good to see then how many people are going to get benefits and so forth.
For sure.
So this makes it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
Yes. So to get tickets to these events and to learn more about your organization, would you care to give out to our viewers your website information, phone number, so people can?
So if you go to the nnf.org, to the Nevada Nurses Foundation .org, and you can get all the information. We'll have the phone numbers on there and information. When it comes to buying tickets for the events, and it comes to really putting forward different nurses and so forth for some of the awards and everything. It's really good. A lot of information on there.
Okay. Dave, thanks for taking time out of your schedule and being with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on and talking about Nevada Nurses Foundation. You guys are doing wonderful work up there, and it's nice that you're giving out grants for research and programs, and you're acknowledging nurses, and you're giving out scholarships. It's an amazing operation.
Yes.
So thanks for being with us. And I'd like to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this program. And if anybody of you are interested in applying for grants or scholarships, please reach out. You've got their website information, and share this program with anyone who might be interested that you know of. I'd also like to thank our producer, John Stiles, station owner of WWDBTV, for allowing me to host this program. And I'd certainly like to thank our sponsors. We would not have a program without the sponsors: Pacific Coast Capital, Priority Wealth Partners, the Firelight Barn, my business partner RJ Champion, and also Friends of the Gift of Giving. These are donors who are supporting the program who wish to remain anonymous. I'd certainly like to acknowledge and thank them. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. I'd certainly love to hear from you. I hope you'll join us again next week. In the meantime, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye for now.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.